Well, good Halloween morning, Bakersfield, surrounding communities, and everybody watching online on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. This is the early bird special on this 31st day of October. I'm Chris Burdick. That is Sparky. Sparky, good morning.
Good morning.
Let them know what they're in for.
Oh, nothing.
Nothing.
No, we don't want
Nothing
to
at all.
talk sports. Let's talk Halloween. Let's talk about Halloween movies. Anything, wrestling, beer.
We will get to all of that. And you know what? We have trust me. For Dolphin fans out there that do listen to this show, and for Sparky, we are not going to hang our head on that game last night very much. We're not. But
World Series.
I got a couple things we have to highlight about Lamar at least, but outside
Welcome
of that,
to Derry.
yeah, we could talk nothing about Halloween today.
Mick Foley will be in town tomorrow.
Absolutely, which we will talk to our guy from KRRJ Collectables, Mr. Jim Gillis, will be here at some point to talk about that. And Kyle Pittser from Dionysus will be dropping by to talk about Saturday night's main event, as Sparky just talked about. You want to just get it out of the way real quick? Quick little Band-Aid, rip it off.
I am
28-6.
I'm just going to say, we had them right where we wanted them.
Yes, you did.
We had our chance, and it's been the same thing many times. We had the Bills on the ropes, and we just can't deliver, and that is the issue. And I'm done with Tua. I can't do it.
We've said it for a couple weeks now. I know you've been done.
I just can't do it.
The game against Atlanta was a little bit of a nice little, sunshine for you, but
the guy has.
I don't know what it is, man. Like, how is it that you could play quarterback better with one eye than you can with two? I mean, Jameis Winston can answer the same question for me, because apparently he played seasons upon seasons without good eyesight, which, what?
I mean, the pieces are there. He's playing like he has no energy, like he has no backbone, like he doesn't want this team to win. And they serve it as a platter. And I'm going to backtrack, because I don't think it's McDaniel. I seriously don't think it's McDaniel. The defense has been there, and there's only so much. And you saw it in the second half. They were like, I'm done. They're done. I never turn off the game before it's over, especially with my team. And I couldn't do it. But I was as close as I've ever been, and I watched the Dolphins win the one game season that they beat the Ravens in overtime with the Brian Hartline touchdown. But I just can't do it. Two is not the one.
No, well, again, you could speak to that better than I, but I agree with you. I think this game actually kind of showed me McDaniels may not be the issue, because you're right. First half, you guys had him exactly where you wanted them. But so many miscues, so many fumbles, mistakes really just led to the 14-6 start.
We had double the amount of yards at halftime. Yep. They had 5 trips to the goal.
Yep. A-Chain looked like he was going to run for $150.
0 touchdowns.
It's absolutely wild.
They had Derrick Henry stopped. Lamar wasn't doing what they were expecting him to do. They had the corners locked. It was just ridiculous.
And that's the other thing that we have to highlight a little bit on the opposite side of this coin. We talked about this yesterday of the top guys that could potentially be traded. I'm wiping Mark Andrews off that list now. I'm wiping him off. I told you guys yesterday, if Lamar came back and they didn't have chemistry, that he would definitely be on the block.
He loves his tight ends.
They got Chem. Trust me. I thought all 4 of the touchdowns were going to go to a tight end. I really did.
Likely looked good. He loves his tight ends.
I even made a joke on that last Rashad Bateman touchdown where he threw the flag, and I said, "Oh, see, it didn't go to a tight end. Doesn't count. Doesn't count. He's got to throw to Likely now." But regardless, it's when you look at this game, I felt bad for the Dolphins, because you're right. I mean, first half, you guys had them exactly where you wanted them, and then second half was just a complete 180. The Ravens figured it out, made their adjustments, and just ran through. And Lamar Jackson, now one of 4 quarterbacks to throw, 4 or 5 touchdowns on the Dolphins without an interception.
And Ollie Gordon, man,
that was a miscue I don't think have.
1, he didn't trip the guy, but 2, you shouldn't have done it in the first place. It wouldn't have been a problem if you I just can't do it anymore. I didn't understand why they kept Tua in. I'm like, are we hoping that he gets popped? Is that the only way that the owner's going to let you bench Tua?
It's probably that. Because, I mean, again, let's look back at what happened when Brian Flores was the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, and he wanted to bench Tua. They were very adamant about that not going to happen. Maybe they're still in the same boat. Maybe they're saying we pay this guy way too much money to not be the starter. It's kind of like the same thing for San Francisco. No matter how good Mac Jones does, the minute Brock Purdy is healthy, they're going back to Brock.
Yeah, it was just probably the same thing when I brought up the Joe Burrow and Joe Flacco.
Absolutely.
I mean, if Flacco could have went 6-0, but Burrow's the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
so
the reason he's there.
I think Harry said it beautifully in one of the promos that we're running right now. For the Dolphins, whether you move on from McDaniel or Tua at this point really is up in the air, whichever direction you decide to go. But I think next year, especially this upcoming draft, you guys really have to focus on finding an heir to the quarterback position, whether you give it to him next year or not.
Better be early.
And you got to let Tua just be the bridge. And then once Tua's contract's up, bye. Because honestly, I agree with you. He's not the guy.
And what do you expect to get out of him? You think he's going to be a bridge quarterback and do it like he's supposed to?
No, more than
He's
likely not.
He's going to throw a fit like he does.
Yeah. It'll be like a Kirk Cousins situation. He'll be saying, I'm a starter. I know I'm a starter.
And no one's going to want to trade for you. So,
I mean, we can't speak for that. I don't know. Like maybe the Jets will be in a situation at that time where they're like, okay, we need anything. So they'll go trade for Tua.
We'll give you him.
But at this point, I have to agree with you. I am very disappointed with the way that offense went down. And granted, he can't be blamed for the fumbles and stuff like that from Malik Washington or the bad timed penalties.
Self-inflicted wounds.
But he definitely doesn't help. Like usually when you have a guy right after those really bad self-inflicted wounds, they find a way to make a play to get you those yards back or at least recover from that miscue. Or at least score a touchdown in an NFL game.
What's funny is people think, oh, this is just this week. It is every week like this. We really do. We come out, whether it's the first half or the second half, it's only a half of football we play. And we'll keep it close. We'll keep it right where you think there's a chance. And then they do this type of crap. And I've watched it for years. I don't think Mike McDaniel's the problem. I got in our GM, Billy Smith, was texting me last night saying, oh, it's Tua. Tua's the trash, and you guys need a defensive mind. I said, dude, we've had the defensive mind. I personally don't think – I think Weaver has gotten our defense where we need to be. I just think it's the whole team. Tua has to be the leader, and we don't have a leader at quarterback. The offensive line looks better.
I think I see what you mean too, but I'm going to take it a step further. It's more the mentality of that leader.
Exactly.
And we've talked about it a little bit when Tua came out criticizing his teammates. While I do commend him for doing that, because as a leader, you do need to be the one to step up to do that. But Sparky was the first one to say it's bad timing. And honestly, a lot of the other pundits were saying the same thing because you're not exactly lighting up the stat sheet. This isn't Lamar Jackson coming in, removing all the stupid stuff from the locker room and say, people getting mad at him for doing that. That's a completely different situation.
And we see it 4th and short. What does he do? He takes a sack or he throws it to the wrong guy. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Right.
Dude?
And you're not making it easier on your guys to make plays. You're not making it easier on your guys to really figure it out. There's something about Tua in this system that's not working. I'm not going to say Tua can't play quarterback for a different team. We've seen it a million times over. But he's just not the guy for McDaniel.
It's just like the mindset. I mean, the Mike McDaniel offense is like a math problem.
Yes.
And you have to have every piece.
Yes.
Every piece to work. It's a timing issue. And if Tua sees a safety coming and he could be 10 steps away and and that's the Tua mindset that I see and I've seen for years. He could look good.
Yes.
1 week and then the next week throw 4 picks. And I'm like, what happened? And it's one step off of that math equation,
right?
And it blows up everything.
I argue that Miami needs a guy like a Brock Purdy or a Mac Jones. And again, easy to say because obviously where McDaniels came from was from that tree. But if you have a guy that's calm, collected, can lead your guys, he's not going to make dumb decisions during the game. And if he does, it's going to be maybe 1 play, maybe 2. Not 4. I genuinely think that is a better fit for this system. It would make Miami a tremendously better team.
And I mean, Billy said the same thing. He said, you guys need a defensive guru. I said, well, that's been our problem.
Right.
We'll get an offensive-minded guy like Mike McDaniel that looks good. He has the offensive mind right.
Right.
And then we had Flores. Why can't we ever just get them at the same part? But it's also the other issue is not only the secondary, because I can't bash, Rasul Douglas or Minka Fitzpatrick,
A
but
lot
they
of
are
injuries
missing.
for you guys in this
They are
game too.
missing some
A
defensive-minded
lot
players.
of injuries for you
Christian
guys.
Watkins, we he was a G in Miami.
Didn't Jaden Phillips leave this game with a concussion as well?
It was
Or was it Phillips or was it oh no, Chop. It was
Chop.
Chop. That's right. It's Chop was the one who left
with a concussion, and Jalen Phillips. It almost he would be perfect in Dallas, and I still think he might end up getting traded to Dallas because they've always had those slim, quick guys, and it doesn't work in that Weaver defense.
So, but it's funny you bring up the entire McDaniels, Flores, why can't we have them at the same time thing? Because you know how I feel about that. I personally think in the NFL, you need to have two coaches that are capable of being head coaches, even if one of them is a head coach and one's your DC or whatever. It doesn't really matter the combination of the two. But if you have at least two, you're going to be successful in the NFL. Do you think there's ever going to be a time, let's say they don't move on from McDaniel this year and they go out next year, they fire the DC at the in the off season. Yeah, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to blame the coordinator. Who says they don't bring in Flores again? Maybe pull him away from Minnesota and say, hey, we know what happened, but with you and McDaniel here at the same time, I think we could have something special.
I would love it, but I don't think Flores is going to be like, I'm not jumping from defensive coordinator to the Vikings to the defensive coordinator to another team. I think he wants another head coaching position, and that's where his stance has been. But there's plenty, McDaniel working all those years with Frisco. I thought, they'd wait another year and get Saleh. I think Saleh would have been a solid pick, but I mean, it's just so much. There's a ton of holes in Miami to fix, and it was good to see Lamar. I have Lamar in a couple fantasy leagues, and I had Bijan last week, and I was like, okay, my Dolphins won, but Bijan got me nothing. This week I was thinking the same thing with Derrick Henry. I was like, we're gonna stop the run, and he's just gonna light us up with tight ends, and that's what we do. And we've had defensive ends. Luckily, Henry just rolled over us, steamrolled us over in the second half. I was like, well, if you can't win the game, I'd rather take some fantasy points.
And on the other side of this coin, the Baltimore Ravens moved to 3-5, cutting ever closer to that top spot in the AFC North. And now
you think they pull it off?
Everybody is saying that.
That's all they talked about last night.
Everybody's saying, here comes the Ravens. And to be honest with you, if Lamar keeps playing like that, yeah.
When they showed the schedule, I was like, okay, now it makes more sense. Well,
we talked about it last week. I mean, the next slate of 5 games for the Baltimore Ravens leading up to that Pittsburgh game in the 5th week, all winnable.
Yep.
Every single one. I think they got the Bengals once, the Browns once. They're playing Minnesota next week, and I'm blanking on the Jets. That's who it is. All incredibly winnable games, which means by the time they reach the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're most likely going to be 7-5
if they're lucky. Yeah, and they could be. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a game or two away from being in shambles.
Exactly. We were talking about Cincinnati with Joe Burrow potentially being able to claw their way back up. And again, it's just how football is. We were just talking about this 2 weeks ago when the team was 1 and whatever. We counted them out. We all said, nope, they're done. There's no way this team comes back, especially if Lamar is not going to be healthy. Lamar came back last night and showed everybody, yeah, I didn't give up on anything. I've been dealing with a hamstring injury. Y'all are crazy. Yep. I'm still the MVP.
And that you can see the mindset.
Yes.
I mean, even when he wasn't playing well in the first half, you knew the mindset. Yes.
And John Harbaugh right now is thanking God. Right. And just saying, thank you. Thank you, Jesus. I'm back. I'm not going to lose my job.
And I think that all the Derrick Henry talk, it's out the window.
You think so? You don't think he's going anywhere? I thought it was a stretch to begin with.
Yeah.
But if they continued losing, I could definitely.
I think if they would have lost last night, it would have been opening.
It would have been a different situation.
Yeah, but we'll take a break. We'll get into some other headlines. Send in your lineup questions, your comments. Plus, we got Game 6 of the World Series tonight that you can hear right here on ESPN Bakersfield. Is it over? Let us know. Is it going to Game 7 tomorrow? I would even take that. Text in 661-842-2000. We are the Early Bird Special.
Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on ESPN Bakersfield, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. We're also streaming video every single weekday from 7 to 9 on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We're also on Instagram and TikTok. Feel free to join, like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that type of good stuff.
Someone texted in and asked how much the Universal Studio tickets are.
Depends which ones you're getting. The ones that I got, which are the special ones that can get you in from like 2 p.m. on, if I remember correctly, were like $1.15. I want to say about $115. Yeah, it's really
not
not
all the mazes and all that.
Yeah, and it does well. Like again, it's not a full ticket to Universal, so don't go at like 8 o'clock in the morning expecting to get in.
Yeah,
but these are like just the Horror Nights ones that they got, and it's probably because it's the day I'm going is the 2nd of November, which is the last day it's open.
So we went a couple years ago when they were doing Stranger Things.
Yeah, I missed that one. I wanted to go so bad.
And
Speaking of, did you
we
see
had to buy
trailer?
the tickets. No, I didn't.
The season 5 trailer looks fantastic. They also dropped the Scream 7 trailer yesterday. That looks really good.
There's another Scream movie.
Yes, and they brought back what's her name, Neve Campbell, for the movies. So we're going back to Sydney. It's no longer Jenna Ortega.
But no, when I went, they had all the mazes down at the bottom by the Transformers.
Right. Where I think that now is where Nintendo Land is.
Yes.
So I don't know how this is going to be structured.
But I will say, if you're going to go to a horror maze type thing, Universal is the best. They've got all the better props.
Again, this is the first time I've gone to Universal in a couple of years. I traditionally go to Six Flags, but that's because I have a season pass, and Six Flags is my second.
We might be going to that.
Which, if you do, let me know how that is as well. It is going to be a fantastic weekend. Hope everybody has a great time with your Halloween antics and whatnot. And if you're going out, be safe. Don't drink and drive. If you're staying in, just leave the candy bowl out for kids. Don't expect them to only take one, and everybody will be happy. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, Scott brought popcorn balls. I have no idea what that is.
Didn't even ask. Look, man, I love his wife's sweets. They are fantastic. She's one of the best bakers. I mean, her and my mom can go bar for bar, really, but popcorn ball isn't exactly on my list.
I'm not eating that, but
I'm not. It's not on my list.
My sweets today is going to be from Kyle Pittser, and we'll tell you about that later.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fantastic. Let's talk a little LSU real quick though, because some more stuff has come out since yesterday. We let you guys know yesterday that the governor of Louisiana,
what a jerk,
came out and essentially said they were not going to allow the athletic director Sam Woodward to choose the next head coach of LSU. I was very critical of that.
Mm-hmm.
I still say rightfully so, but I mean, again,
keep your politics out of sports.
Exactly. Everybody has their own thoughts. I get what the governor is saying. The governor's main point was that Sam Woodward is responsible for 2 of the biggest buyouts in NCAA history. That would be Jimbo Fisher and now Brian Kelly in LSU. I realize what he's trying to get across. My problem, though, is he goes on McAfee yesterday. And I don't know if it's misinformation because I haven't read the contract, but he's trying to spin this that the taxpayers of Louisiana would be fronting the bill for Brian Kelly. That the people of Louisiana, would be paying for the $54 million that the college owed Brian Kelly. I don't know about you guys, but from what I know, that is not the case traditionally. Usually the athletic department of the school pays out the money that is necessary. And you cannot tell me, with the amount of money that Louisiana State University gets from every single one of their sports organizations from the past couple of years, cannot pay off Brian Kelly's $54 million. I can't say a couple. It's more than a couple. All of that being said, Sam Woodward last night was fired from LSU. He was let go.
That's so horrible.
But again, that's the other side of this coin, right? Because I've seen a lot of pundits come out and say it. I've seen a lot of former athletes come out and say it. And honestly, after I sat down and thought about it a little bit, I kind of understand and I get why they fired him. Somebody has to be responsible for these massive, massive buyouts. Somebody has to, and it can't be the coach. The coach and the agent are just doing their job. And that's the other thing that he highlighted too, the governor of Louisiana, is that apparently Brian Kelly has the same agent as Garrett Nussmeier.
Of course.
He made it seem like a lot of the players had the same agent and that people were being favored to play because of the agent they had. Ridiculous, more than likely.
I heard the same thing from Evan Cohen.
Ridiculous, more than likely. Again, I can't speak for it. We're not in Louisiana, nor do I know the agent. I knew his name too. I think it's Armstrong. He's a former player. Actually, I think he was a D tackle. I think he played for the Bears and the Dolphins at one point. But regardless.
So he's a loser.
Oh, well, he's a dang winner in agency. I can tell you that right now. But I get the gripes against the money that's being forked over for this guy. I understand why you shouldn't be okay with somebody just paying out 50 something million dollars for a guy who didn't win you anything. Totally get that. But I agree with what Sparky said at the beginning of it. Politicians should just stay out of sports like this unless asked to participate. NCAA does need guardrails. He's absolutely right. But the NCAA has also asked Congress to help them with that, which they have yet to do. But also, like I said yesterday, Congress has way more issues right now to deal with than the NCAA.
I will say, living in Louisiana for a couple years, I will say that's a whole different type of world. That everything is a family, hands-on. They're all together, so I can see it coming out of Louisiana. Way different than California, and they're probably 20 years behind us because everything in Louisiana, I that's the only thing I could say with that. When the governor came out at first, I was like, I heard the interview, and I was like, this guy needs to step back and let the professionals take care of the teams. But I can also see the Louisiana side of it. In the South, they're all kind of doing it together as a team.
And he wants to win. That's the basis of what Governor Landry said. It's like, I want to do this because I want Louisiana fans to be happy and I want them to win. Totally understandable if that's the truth. But McAfee brought up a good point on his show yesterday. I wish I would have pulled the audio, but I was too enamored with what the governor was saying to really even focus on that. He brought up, is it a good idea to have non-sports people making sports decisions? Much like in politics, we wouldn't ask a head coach of a Sorry, no, hold on. Tommy Tuberville. Get rid of Tuberville. Tuberville's the only one that isn't in this. He's an outlier. We wouldn't ask, say, Lincoln Riley or something to go write up a bill and, go pass it in Congress. He's not a politician, just as we don't ask politicians to come over and make decisions for athletics. There's no need to mix the two. There really isn't. Now, the other thing that came up when I looked into this is the possibility of Sam Woodward also having the same agent as Brian Kelly, which is the other thing that Landry brought up. I couldn't put two and two together. I couldn't find out who Woodward's agent actually is. But if that is true, then I see his point of there is a massive conflict of interest. Because obviously, if you're this AD of a school and your agent represents a head coach that could get paid a ton of money, $60 million, let's say, maybe even more than that, with a buyout of all of it, you can look at the AD, say, write up the contract just like this, we all get paid.
I want to hear him come out, the AD.
Right.
I want to hear what he says.
Well, he's come out and given the traditional spiel of, I'm so heartbroken by this and, I can't believe this is happening, but I am optimistic of what's coming next. Sam Woodward apparently is beloved around Louisiana. Apparently what was it? I was reading up that the basketball coach or something, the women's basketball coach was very heartbroken that he was let go. And I know Sam Woodward's most likely a really good AD, so he'll get a job somewhere else. But just this entire thing left a really sour taste in my mouth. It really did. Just less than 24 hours after the governor comes out and says that you're not allowed to choose the next head coach, you get let go. Why not just let him go and not say anything?
Right.
Why not say, well, we'll allow the decisions to be made by the board. That's as far as it needed to go. You didn't need to sit there and joke and say, I'll let President Trump pick before I let him pick.
That's
President Trump loves winners.
Makes you look like a joke.
God, you look so dumb by saying that. But again, this is why we say we should just keep politics out of sports for the most part. Let's take a break real quick. On the other side, I have a couple more interesting stories coming out of NCAA football, including the Nebraska Cornhuskers apparently listened to the early bird special because right after the show, they said Matt Rule ain't going nowhere. We'll let you know what happened there. And then the Rose Bowl in the city of Pasadena is suing UCLA for potentially,
as they should,
leaving the Rose Bowl, potentially. That's the big key right there. We'll let you know all about those two stories on the other side of the break. This is the Early Bird Special right here on ESPN Bakersfield. Y'all missed it during the break. I dang near did a spit take. Who's the mask supposed to be?
Dolphin fan.
Ah, there you go.
Just getting old.
Well,
I wanted to get the leather face, but I didn't have $80.
true. That's very true. It still looks good though. It's really good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he walked in, I said, "Whoa, who's that?"
Supposed to be Scott Cox.
Ah, well, you need a bald head for that one. That's kind of rough. Hold on, wait. Oh my! We actually do. Wow. Okay, I like it. That's pretty dang close. That is pretty dang close to Scott Cox. I will not lie. Even the scowl on the face looks exactly like his. That is really funny. Welcome back to the early bird special. It is Halloween. Hope you guys have a good Halloween night tonight. Stay safe, all that type of good stuff. Check your kids' candies because you never know what could be in there.
And congratulations to our buddy over here.
Dawson?
Yeah.
What did Dawson do?
He's engaged.
Oh, is he really? Congratulations. Yeah. Fantastic. I did not know that.
Yeah,
good for him.
He made
He's
the
younger
jump.
than me. My God. I'm so behind in that area of my life, man. I really, truly
smart
am.
man.
It is what it is. But I live my life loving sports, and that's where my heart is.
But bringing up the Matt Rule, I saw that as soon as I left the station.
It literally happened 3 minutes after the show ended. I said, "What?"
And they locked him in till 2032.
That's the plan. Yeah, it gave him a 2-year extension on the contract, which would now make his buyout for this season $15 million rather than $5 million. And they're essentially saying this is going to eliminate him from the coaching cycle this season, rather. Personally, I mean, again, it was always up in the air. The Penn State job was always going to be on his back just because he's best friends with the athletic director and what the school meant to him. But I'd heard him on McAfee many, many times, and he seemed very like honest about it. He seemed very upfront by saying, "I don't want to go anywhere. I love Big Red. I want to be a Cornhusker." So, being me, I've heard a million coaches say that, and then the next week they'd say, "Oh, hey, I'm heading out. See you guys later. I'm taking all my recruits too." So you never know what could happen. But the Cornhuskers putting their faith in Matt Rule in this offense, figuring out just a suitable program that works for him, and they're all in on it, man. They are all in, including the fan base and the people around them. This is one of those fan bases. You've heard Bolt talk about it. You've heard me talk about it. The Nebraska Cornhuskers are probably one of the most devout fan bases in college and in college sports. I can't even say college ball, college sports. They show up every single time. And really, I think Matt Rule has said it beautifully yesterday. He found a home. He found a home in Nebraska, and I don't know if he's going anywhere now, which means that Penn State job is wide open for the taking for anybody. I could not tell you right now who the front runner is. I will do a lot of research over the weekend as I can and give you guys some answers on Monday. But as of right now, it does look like Matt Rule is officially out of the running for the Penn State job in the Nittany Lions. That is incredible.
And a trippy story that you teased. I mean, the city of Pasadena and the Rose Bowl operating company have now filed a lawsuit against UCLA, accusing the Bruins of trying to break their home game lease at the Rose Bowl, which is valid through 2044, in order to relocate some games to the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
So here's the basis of all of this. Pasadena and the Rose Bowl are set up to lose billions of dollars, billions with a B, if UCLA leaves and is no longer playing their home games at the Rose Bowl. So that is the major gripe that the city of Pasadena has over this. And I mean, it's true. That is the vast majority of a lot of these businesses' revenue come from those Saturday games and these families coming from UCLA to watch their kids play. Now, the other thing that I thought was weird, I don't know if this is because UCLA is just trying to find a smaller stadium to play in because it looks bad when you can only fill out maybe 3,500 people to 35,000 people in this stadium alone that fits, 85, something like that. So they decided to get together to do preliminary hearings, which technically isn't illegal. You can make meetings and talk about this of what you're going to do when the lease is up. That is legal, which essentially is what they were doing. And the plan that we hear was SoFi. The reasoning behind that, SoFi is only 12 miles from the UCLA campus, whereas the Rose Bowl is 26 miles from the campus. If any of you have been to LA, 14 miles may not be a whole ton here in Bakersfield, but
it's a 45-minute trip.
110% in LA. When you're navigating all of those freeways and byways and all these dumb drivers that love to cut you off, oh my God, that is such a track. And I don't know a lot of fans that are going to go from UCLA in the heart of Westwood all the way to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, get hammered to watch UCLA lose to whomever.
What about their defense?
Don't get me started on that one. Again, I don't mean to poke fun, but I'm a USC fan, and you came on, you texted in the show saying UCLA had a tough defense. I mean, it's about as skeptical as Nico Iamaleava, and that's skeptical. But regardless, back to the point. So at this point, Pasadena, the city itself, and the Rose Bowl are all very, very frightened that they could potentially lose UCLA here in the next couple of years. I don't blame them. When you look at the amount of money that the city itself is potentially losing with them departing, I mean, hold on, let me look at this just so I have the figures correctly. Yeah, $1 billion in damages. Not to mention that they've already paid, including the taxpayers, $150 million in renovations and an additional $130 million in bonds that were recently refinanced by additional upgrades. That is coming from, I believe this is from ESPN. This is damning because, my God, that's a lot of money that Pasadena will be losing. And yes, we realize the Rose Bowl will always be played at the Rose Bowl, but that's one game. That's one game.
When you start talking about taxpayers' money and billions of dollars that they're losing and
millions
planning
they put into this old stadium to make it new again.
Maybe you don't sign a long-term deal like that.
2044 is a wild
lease.
Insane. That is a wild lease. And for those of you who are wondering how long UCLA has played there, they've played there ever since they left the Coliseum back in 1982. That's how long they've been playing at the Rose Bowl. Now again, they didn't sign that contract in 2082 to be playing until 1982 to be playing until 2044. But I kind of agree with Sparky here. If you didn't like the way it was shaping up, and you can't sit there and say that your fan base hasn't come out for you in the last couple of years, because they do. They still show up. I mean, UCLA hasn't exactly been a football powerhouse in quite some time, but your fans still show up. And even with the move with USC, Washington, and Oregon to a bigger conference, you're now up against bigger schools and bigger competition. So you would hope that brings in more. But much like our own BC Renegades, you've got to be able to win to fill those seats. It doesn't matter which stadium you play in if you can't fill it out. And I don't know if moving from Rose Bowl to SoFi is really going to help you.
Yeah.
It really won't. And that's because again, these are just preliminary meetings. They haven't even reached out to SoFi to see if that's even going to happen. I'm pretty sure that's even if SoFi wants a third team in their stadium. Because again, they're housing the Chargers and the Rams at the same time.
Plus
and now
festivals and music.
And now you want to throw in the Bruins? Like,
that they already know they're going to take a hit from.
Exactly. So this is all just, getting going. This is, I think, a preliminary lawsuit as well. I highly doubt they actually go to court for this because, again, there's nothing really illegal that has happened just yet. They didn't exactly sign a lease with SoFi, but you can see how serious Pasadena is taking this, and UCLA might be stuck until the year 2044 and beyond for all we know. That's 19 years from now, by the way. 2 decades. That's crazy. I've never even, but at the same time, I don't think I could ever see UCLA playing in any other stadium. I think that the Rose Bowl is just their place. It really is. Let's take a break real quick. On the other side, we'll talk some things in the NBA. It looks like the Lakers have officially been signed over to Mr. Walters yesterday. So that's finally in stone. Plus, Chauncey Billups has found his attorney who used to work with Trump and Rudy Giuliani. We're talking about politics being out of sports. This is the Early Bird Special right here on ESPN Bakersfield.
Before we get away from football, did you see Aaron Rodgers is pitching,
Yes.
trying to sell us?
I was wondering while watching that game, because if you notice, every play Micah got close, you see Aaron and him gone at each other, but like jokingly. They're not competitively going at it, but you can see Aaron just like, stop, dude. Like, hey, they're buddies.
I just thought it was one of those like, hey man, stay out of my backfield kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like Tom Brady used to say. But now we know that it sounds like Aaron Rodgers is trying to get Micah to buy his old house. And I mean, I don't blame him. Might as well pitch it to your friends. I mean, obviously Micah needs a place to stay long term. He loves it in Green Bay, from what I understand. And I don't think that relationship is ending anytime soon. So he's going to need to set his roots. And who better than to
Micah said, I am looking for a home, but I'm not ready for a property that big. But they did ESPN mentioned that Tucker Kraft is taking a tour of the place.
Oh, okay. So Tucker could potentially buy it too. I mean, shoot, Jordan could buy it, I'm sure, if he had the time or the inclination to do so. But I don't know if Jordan comes back here. If anybody's connected to Jordan and knows if he comes back to Bakersfield on the offseason, let us know. I'm not sure if he does. I would stay at least closer to Wisconsin if I were him. But, I mean, God only knows. A lot of these athletes don't even stay anywhere near the state they play in until the season starts. So,
and I saw boxing champ Tank Davis.
Yep. Getting busted again. Again, these stories come out entirely too often, and it bugs me. But domestic stuff cannot be acceptable in any shape or form in any sport. And Tank being one of the biggest names in boxing. I mean, we talked about this the other day when we had Sal in here. Boxing has kind of gone to the wayside. There's not a lot of great names anymore. I mean, Canelo obviously is one of them, but you never really see or hear of any of these young guys going that big because they really can't keep their nose clean. And it sucks that Tank is going to be the next in line for this. I hope that this is all hearsay and it's just somebody trying to get money out of him, because that does happen quite a bit as well. But this one, I don't know. Usually when they reach this height, there's a lot of validity to it, and there's a lot of facts that are going to be going against him. And for his sake, I hope that he's able to figure this out and, not be
the next guy.
Yeah, the next guy, essentially. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But speaking of the next guy and lawsuits and all this stuff, let's talk about Chauncey, because I mean, we talked about it yesterday, the NBA PA or NBPA or whatever it's called, the player union. The players union has come out and said they're trying to fight for Terry Rozier's money. They're trying to at least get him paid during the suspension. Ridiculous, in my opinion.
It is ridiculous.
But Chauncey Billups, the other guy that was really at the forefront of this outside of Damon Jones, who's also missing out on $7 million this year for what he was going to get paid for coaching the Portland Trail Blazers, found his attorney and lawyer, Mark Mukasey. I'm sure I'm butchering that last name. He was representing him in a federal investigation in the illegal gambling. I'm reading from The Athletic here. McCasey is a former prosecutor for the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York, who specialized in white-collar defense, is the son of former U.S. Attorney General Michael McCasey. He has a long history of taking on high-profile cases, most notably as an attorney for President Donald Trump in recent years. So, when I originally read this, I'm not going to lie to you, how the headline is based, it looks like it's actually Giuliani who he hired. It is not Rudy Giuliani, which would have been an incredible story in itself if you really sit there and think about it. Because if you're wanting somebody to go after and fight the mob for you, Rudy Giuliani would probably be the first call I'd call too. But I am going to go out and say that this is probably going to be a smart move from Chauncey Billups' camp, because if there's anybody that knows how to get you out of situations like this, especially white collar situations where a lot of money's involved and there's money laundering and all this other stuff. Plus, there's possibility that Chauncey Billups is not only connected to the poker thing, but the betting thing as well. Not really dropped by name yet, but there are details in which, I mean,
it's coming.
If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck,
it's not a duck.
No, clearly it's a rabbit. Like, I don't know. But at this point, it is all going to be coming out here very, very soon. I hope Terry Rozier is going to find himself some great attorney help too, because he's in a lot of trouble, especially with the $8 million he owed in taxes, which really, in my thought process, kind of makes me believe, okay, now I see why you were doing this.
Makes sense.
Because you're obviously broke.
Which also will go right into this this story, but the NBA is now reviewing and teaming up with DraftKings and these betting apps and trying to work on a new partner sports book for review, as they're trying to restrict the types of bets with these prop bets. And they are starting with bets tied to missed free throws, fouls, and turnovers. The league came out and said they're asking sports books to drop these bets and exploring lower wager thresholds for risky area bets like these.
To be honest, you just got to get rid of prop bets altogether. That's the only way I see this working, is if you just eliminate prop bets altogether. We go back to over-unders and just who wins, because it's much more difficult for a player to shave so many points that their team loses, compared to, okay, I just got to go out there and make sure I get under 8 rebounds tonight or under 4 assists tonight. Like it's one of those situations where you just got to kind of make it harder for everybody. And I think that is the best step forward. I've heard a lot of people talk about that, and maybe it gets to a point where you only have apps for fans only. But even then, when you open that door up, there's obviously going to be family members that dive into that and make money off of it. So I think the best case scenario for all this, just eliminate prop bets. Just get rid of them. I mean, I know a lot of friends of mine that are not going to be happy with that take of mine, but
find a different hobby,
dude. Exactly. Or just waste all your money on betting if the Lakers are going to win over the Celtics.
And hopefully that'll open the door for California to revisit that, because I don't understand why we can't make those bets here.
I agree with you 100%. And to be honest with you, maybe that is the first step to get California to lighten up to it, because there's less likely that it could be a danger to people and their kids. Let's take a break. On the other side, we'll get to our guests of the day, Jim Gillis from KRRJ, and, of course, our guy Kyle Pittser. This is the Early Bird Special right here on ESPN Bakersfield.
Oh, good Lord. I don't know if Dude Love is my favorite or not. Out of the appearances. I mean, Mankind was more my jam.
Mankind, yeah.
But
the original Mankind?
Probably. Yeah, I'd go that far. I mean, him getting thrown off of the Hell in the Cell, still one of the best moments in wrestling history, in my opinion. But he also had a tooth fly through his head at that day. So that's one of the craziest things ever. Right through the... Yeah. I mean, he talks about that story and just as if he just brushed it off. Nothing happened. This is one of the toughest. If you don't know who we're talking about, Mick Foley, one of the WWE's biggest legends, will be here tomorrow at KRRJ Collectables. And with us is the owner of the collectible store, Jim Gillis. Sir, how are you?
Good morning. I'm good. I'm
Fantastic.
awake at this time, right?
All right. I mean, hopefully. Everybody,
welcome to our world.
I know. Everybody tells us when they walk in it's way too early. I don't know why you guys do the show this early. It's way too dang early.
I'm up at 6 a.m. every day.
I don't see. He beats you. He's up at 4. I don't know how he does it, but because I can't get up past 5.
I go to sleep crying.
Yeah, I think that once you literally get used to it, it becomes
just second nature to you. Yeah, I totally understand that. But sir, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it.
I'm glad to be here.
Well, before we get into the Mick Foley stuff, why don't you explain to our listeners, if you haven't gone out to KRRJ Collectables, where you guys at? What do you guys have? I mean, just break it down.
So we're located at 1410 Weibel Road, Suite 102. We're in the same parking lot as Furniture City. We have a lot of collectibles. Mainly, we have a lot of Funkos. We've got action figures, designer art, toys, lounge fly bags, anime statues, a lot of different things. It's a retail toys and collectible store here in Bakersfield.
And you guys have an incredible amount of stuff in there. I mean, every time me and Sparky have gone in there, I've walked away with at least 3, 4.
That's my wife's is like, stay away.
This is why I have not brought. Full disclosure, I like we talked about during the break. Not a lot of disposable income in the area at the moment, but I have been meaning to take my friend down there because she loves the backpacks, and I know you guys have like a line of them in the back that are some that I've never seen before. Yeah. And like, how often do you get people coming in just looking for specific stuff?
Specific stuff is all the time because there's a lot of people in the toys and collectibles industry that are literally, that's what they're doing. It's a toy hunt.
Right.
They go out hunting for specific items. It'd be nice to have all the items all the time. It's impossible.
Right.
But yeah, that's what we get. We get people that will be driving up the 99 and going from LA to San Francisco or opposite, stopping in, and then they don't leave for a few hours, and
you can get lost in that store for a few hours. I can tell you that. But how do you do, like, if people ask you to bring like if someone asks like, hey, do you have this? You say no. It's like, can you order it for me? Are you one of those people that'll be able to do that?
Yes and no. It really depends, because sometimes they're looking for stuff that hasn't been available for 5 to 10 years. You're not going to find it. It's just, you hope that someone's got it. And the best trick for that is almost always just to go hit like eBay or Mercari or something. But if it's something new that's coming, we will look at if we've got enough requests for that type of item. We'll bring it in. Because of the way everything's been going, we try to streamline the things that we're bringing in right now to try to be what the major things that people are wanting. But we do try to do that. It's just sometimes it's impossible.
What is the top seller? The Funkos?
Funkos right now are our top seller, followed closely by the anime statues. Those are really big.
I know a lot of friends. Trust me. I tell him every time I walk in there, it's like, God, I want to leave with half of these, but I can't.
Yeah, we have one of the largest selections of anime statues in
that
California.
Old school wrestling action figures. I know you got a ton of those in the back too. I mean,
we're almost out of all.
Are you really?
Yeah, we only have a few left, and let's just be honest, they're not exactly
greatest
figures.
No, but I'd like, every time we walked in there, we found a couple of them, and I was shocked at the amount that you had, just because, I mean, wrestling fans covet these things. They don't give them up easy.
Yeah. And it's just been trying to get ones that people want, because what you don't want is what we call wall hangers, one that's just going to be there forever. And sometimes that's what you can get.
Right.
Yeah.
You try to get the good ones.
And it's got to be a tough business. I mean, I'm a collectible. I've been collecting since I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and I still have everything from that age. and a couple things I probably shouldn't have opened, and I give my parents crap. You should have bought two. But no,
You know,
like everyone's got their own
truth is
niche.
that when it comes to collecting, you should enjoy it. If pulling it out and playing with it or having it, it stop worrying about the collectible money value and enjoy it, because you just never know. It may become worth nothing, and you didn't enjoy it because you were
just
thinking
wasted
that I'm
it.
just going to hold this and collect it, you know.
But I mean, dealing with other people's, I mean, I know I personally collect, like, I grew up as a big Kiss fan, so I've got tons of Kiss stuff. You know, I collect vinyl, but I also got into, you know, the Ninja Turtles when I was younger. I'm big on, you know, I've got almost everything with the Undertaker. I've got tons of, you know, just random Kiss, Dolphins, Undertaker. I'm big on Captain Spaulding, you know, and I enjoy going to these collectible places because, you know, I thought I had that one, and I'll have to call my wife, check the catalog.
What do we have?
And there's so many different Undertakers, and there's so many different of all these characters, and it's got to be hard to find everything for everyone.
It's literally impossible. I mean, you know, it's like that old saying goes, is you can't please everybody.
Exactly.
You can please a few people, but you have to try to be a little generalized. It's nice when you do have a piece that someone's been looking for forever,
right,
and they're able to find it. Actually, that's what brings you a little bit joy in the business, is when somebody can actually get something they've been looking for a long time. And that's really a great part of owning a collectible shop.
I really enjoy, like, the Bakersfield Collector Con, which I was going to come say hi, but he was packed. I mean, there was a circle around his booth, but I was like, and I'll see things like, man, my wife ended up leaving with the sword.
And that's right. I remember you sending me the pictures of the swords.
Like,
because you got didn't you get the God of War swords or something?
She got
like
the
that?
God of War one.
Oh,
I left with some old wrestling magazines and some He-Man stuff that I was like, I had that when I was little. But that's one thing. And then that, like he's in the anime stuff.
Yes.
So when I go in there, I'm lost when it comes to anime, but I know there's a big crowd for that type of thing. And I mean, when you're saying you're ordering these things, are you looking, like you said, the wall holders or whatever?
Well, so I'm a huge anime guy. I love anime, so I watch a lot of anime, and I try to stay up. But also, I'm old, so what happens is that some of the new shows aren't as appealing to me as the original. So a lot of people don't really understand anime's actually been out since the early 80s.
Oh yeah,
really?
Back then, it was actually just called animation, Japanese animation, and then sometime in the early 90s, someone changed it to anime. I think it was when Dragon Ball Z started becoming real popular.
Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon. I mean, the list goes on.
All of that crazy stuff. I mean, but now there's a gluttony of stuff, so it's very difficult. You can pick out 5 or 10 different things, and then the one you've missed is the one everybody decides they like. You just, it's a very difficult thing. And when it comes to collectibles, one of the things that's really weird for the anime world is that an anime will come out, but nothing will come out for that for at least a year, because they have to say, well, let's make sure this is successful.
Right. Then you do all the figures.
They have
and the
to
statues.
Go about 6 months to get them through production, which means that going back and forth on what it looks like. Oh, the coloring's wrong. And then another 6 months to get here. And that's where it can become real difficult, because when it first hits, everybody wants some. So like we've got these little anime dolls. They're actually from one of those games on your phone called Pretty Derby. And
I'm not familiar with that one.
It was, nobody knew about it for the last 2 years, and I've had the anime dolls, and then all of a sudden it got over here and got really big here, and now everybody wants them. It's like, well, they aren't making any right now. It's been 2 years.
It's like they've been hanging on my wall for 2 years. Where you been?
Hey, but they're moving through them. So
that's fair.
And that's a good thing, because that just shows you don't really know
when it's going to hit the market.
Off top of your head, what's the rarest thing that you have in the store right now?
In my store, the rarest thing I have is a Skeletor Funko Pop. It's like, originally it was 480 pieces. It was done at a con back in 2012, I believe, or 13, one of those things. And when it was originally produced, it was 480 pieces. I'm going to guess that there's less than 400 left. But it's not just that it's rare, it's that it's in immaculate condition. So what had happened was back then when these Funko Pops first came out is that nobody bought protectors or anything for them. They just set them aside. And why would they buy protectors? The pop cost $9,
$10,
and then they're putting an $8 protector on it. I mean, that's like stupid in my opinion.
Well, you've seen me walk out with plenty of those without the protectors. So,
but that's, you like to tell everybody when it comes to collecting, you collect how you want to collect. Don't let anybody else worry about what you're doing. And that's the fun of it. But yeah, that one's pretty rare. I've got a couple of really rare pieces, like a Freddie Funko as Kurt Cobain.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
That's interesting.
So it's pretty cool stuff. I've got some rare designer art toys that like I don't even know the number. A lot of them that we've got in the designer art toy world are a couple hundred pieces, 250, 300 pieces. That means that's worldwide. That's not just in the United States. So rarity and rarity are two different things. You could have 10 pieces of something, doesn't mean that anybody wants it.
Right. It's got to be some value to it at the same time.
Yeah, and that's why I say the Skeletor is, because he's a massively Masters of the Universe is a big.
I
got Skeletor tattooed right here, so
I'm
a big Skeletor fan.
Isn't there another series coming out of that here pretty soon?
I know they're doing a movie sooner or later. They keep talking about it.
That one, yeah. Who was
it Jared Leto?
Oh, Jared Leto. Right. Leto was supposed to be playing Skeletor.
Get me started on Jared Leto.
Come on.
Did you not like Tron?
Bad.
I
still
the
haven't
Tron
seen
movie.
it yet.
I will say that I haven't seen Tron Ares, and I've heard
good
things
things
about it, but we're gonna get on movie subject.
That's all right.
I just don't know how that dude keeps getting movies.
30 Seconds to Mars. That's how that man keeps getting movies.
He's a good-looking guy.
He is.
And
he killed it in Tron, I will say.
Did he?
But I wasn't. I liked him in the Batman films. I'm a little biased because I lived all the Joker movies. So I'm like, everyone's like, I didn't like him at the Jared. I mean, I get it.
He won me over with, what was it, Requiem for a Dream? Wasn't that what he was in, where he was the addict and stuff like that? After I saw him in that, I was like, okay, this dude's
You're talking the one with guy from Texas.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
To move over to wrestling, are you a big wrestling fan?
To be honest, no.
Okay.
I enjoy
but you know the
wrestling,
niche.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit older, so growing up, wrestling was totally different. When I grew up, it was WWF.
Me too.
And prior to that, WWF, it was all local things, and it was kind of bizarre for a lot of people.
Right.
And
my dad would yell,
I enjoy it now. Like can I push a local league?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So there's a local Bakersfield league, Rodeo Pro Wrestling.
We just had a showdown on the show last week.
I was at their show. That was the first local small show I've ever been to, and it was fantastic. I took my wife, and it's really hard for my wife to go out and do things, and she loved it.
Right on.
Because we realize what it is. It is a show. It's to be enjoyed.
Thank you.
Entertainment.
Walk away from it going, I had fun.
It's an athletic soap opera.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people.
And I was looking at it like these guys are phenomenal. This is a lot of fun. I've watched a lot of wrestling. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I just don't. My life doesn't revolve around
wrestling.
Fair.
Right.
And I got a lot more involved last year when Mick came and doing research into Mick, because I knew who Mick Foley was. I just didn't know who Mick Foley was.
Yeah.
And how big he actually was and everything he meant and means to the wrestling. Everybody knows the big names.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, Mick's got to be a top 20 guy of all time.
Top 10.
Because it's not just Mick. It's Dude Love. It's Cactus Jack.
It's Mankind.
It's Mankind. And it's the things he did. And if anybody's listening and they've never seen the documentaries on like Prime Video and stuff like that, they need to go out and watch them, because the guy's a really amazing human being. And the fact that when you look at him, you're not thinking wrestler. You're thinking it's some guy that's down at the bar, maybe bouncing or something.
Yep.
Wearing a flannel with 3 teeth and just kickback guy.
He's just a super nice guy. But what he brought, and when you look at it, is he brought an actual love for wanting to be a wrestler.
100%.
And sometimes, like I said, I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but I've watched some of the guys. I watch a lot of shows about it and everything. And some of these guys don't have the love for it. It's just about the money.
Right.
And you can tell the difference between the guys who love what they're doing and the guys that are just about the money.
And he seems so genuine too. Like, I've never hung out with him in a personal setting, obviously, but like you said, anything you've seen in a documentary setting, anything like that, just glowing commentary from other people about the guy. Like,
I mean, even outside wrestling, when I watched, they have a WWF, WWE, whatever.
Yeah.
They have I grew up WWF, but there's a collectible show that they do where they go out all over the world because they're trying to find, a sling-it that Andre the Giant wore, and they're all these things. And Mick Foley makes appearances where, he goes into these people's homes and look at their collection. And that's when I was like, dude, this guy is just a regular guy. And, in the years that he was wrestling, all these guys were roided out, big 300-400 pound dudes. And he was just a regular guy, beer belly looking, and the personal side on his documentary just shows the respect you got for this guy. Not only did he give his life and his body to the sport,
literally.
Yeah. But he did it for the passion of wrestling. He grew up watching wrestling, the old, the hardcore guys. And I grew up in high school. I had a friend named Drew that always wanted, he was Mick Foley's diehard, his idol. And I remember going down to Strongbow Stadium, and they had a little independent wrestling league, and he was always trying to be Mick Foley. He would have barbed wire wrapped around his head. And it was kind of cool. Even if you're in this small little community of wrestling fans, we went out last year to see Mick Foley, which was awesome. But right in front of me was Drew. And I'm like, dude, I haven't seen this guy in 20 years, but I knew that he would be there. So it's kind of the cool thing. But how did this all come together?
So originally, last year at the beginning of the year, I got a direct message on Instagram from somebody going, hey, I represent Mick Foley, and we'd like to come to your shop and do a signing. Is that something you'd be interested in? And my first thing was, who's trying to fraud me here?
Oh, 100%. That's the first thing I would say. Yeah.
So I spent probably an hour making sure who this person was that was messaging me. And it's crazy, but it's actually Jake the Snake's daughter. That
is it really?
So it's I found that out.
That's interesting. Okay.
But it was, they approached me, and I'm like, yeah, I'd love that. Let's figure it out. And we got it figured out. And I posted it on my Instagram that he was coming, and wow, the excitement from I did not honestly expect that. I thought it was really cool because, like I said, I'd known who Mick Foley was. I didn't realize how big Mick Foley was.
I think it's that, plus here in Bakersfield, we just have this underground wrestling fandom. Well, there are so many people that love it here.
How many times has WWE Raw been here?
Right. And done shows live from here, even though we never get the credit for being here. It's always in Fresno. Or
we had the Green Frog match. It's one of the most.
Still trying to take that away from us.
They
still try to take that away from us. I said, heck no, that's down the street from my house.
I remember that show. And I remember growing up, I mean, even with the convention center, the first wrestling show I went to was with like Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Bushwhackers, and aged myself again. But yeah, the Undertaker brought out the body bag, but it was cool. And for them to just reach out, I mean, that's got to be a cool thing, dude.
Yeah. And then he did the show last year. And what was really cool was when it was all over and we were just sitting back there talking with Mick in the back room afterwards, is that his comment is this was literally one of the best shows he's done at a store.
He seemed so nice too.
Not like this year or this month, but like he said, ever.
That's
and
awesome.
He goes, at that time, he said, hey, do you mind if I come back in a year and a half? And I'm like, no, I don't.
So you had this
of course
plan.
I want you to come.
No,
back.
never.
Yeah.
So you had this whole thing planned from the last one then.
Yeah. So they reached out to me a few months ago and said, can we get him? you ready to have him back in? And I'm like, well, yes, of course we are. Because you guys were at the event last time. We had a great local DJ Pantomime was out there spinning tunes, and he did a little walk up with Mankind's music as he came in and walked him in and got the crowd excited. And when I say crowd, people may think I'm exaggerating. The line was longer. Until we shut the line off at 8:00. It was a full line the entire night.
So people that want to go out, do they have to buy tickets? Is there anything?
So basically, you just got to get in line. The one cool thing about Mick that not everybody does is Mick makes sure that anybody who shows up gets taken care of. So as long as you're in line by 8 p.m., you're going to get the opportunity to get back there and meet him.
So he would sign
something just so it's out there. It's it's $60 for a signature or $60 to get a picture with them, and you get a picture with them with your whole family.
And they do a grouping, right?
You can get both of them for $80.
Oh, right on.
Okay.
But in reality, in this type of environment where people charge for signatures now and pictures, it's actually really
that is very
low for his
for
his book of work.
100%.
And will there be items out there? I know last year I bought the 3-pack, which was awesome, and I had him sign them all 3 in different color ink.
Yeah, and that one we won't have because I was trying to get some and they doubled the price of it.
Oof.
And I just didn't want to pass that along to everybody. We do have some items available. We'll have some actual original artwork prints that I should hopefully have today. In fact, when I get out of here, I gotta email the guy and make sure they're coming over today. But those will be only available through us. He'll have some 8x10s and stuff. We'll have some. We'll have some Funko Pops of Mankind, Mick Foley, and Dude Love. There's just some things. If you've got something of yours, like a WWE Championship belt or something that you want to get him to sign, it's whatever you want.
And that's cool because I've been to a lot of signing events, and they're like, it's these 3 things he's signing, and it's way more expensive than the $60 or $80 that you're getting. And this guy's a Hall of Fame icon of the wrestling world, and I mean those prices you can't beat. I'll tell you that. I went to an event and it was $150, and we brought our own equipment stuff that we want signed, and they're like, nope, it's not going to happen. Didn't even get to it.
I'm sorry, I don't. It's just talking.
No, you're good.
The only thing I will say is the one you were talking about, the 3 faces of Foley. I do have to talk about that one real quick, is because it is 3 signatures. It's 3 signatures.
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
So
it'd be 3. It would be what was it? 180.
180. Yeah.
Which I believe I just gave him.
I think you gave him the cool 200. Yeah.
It's a. But I just wanted to clarify that.
No, that's fair.
Because
some
he
people
does
show up with 3 and say, "Oh,
well,
look,
I did have a
$60."
question because the guy in front of me I believe he had like a hardcore bat. Yeah. And I was like, I wonder if he's going to sign that. And sure enough, he's like, cool. And he
signs
signed
everything. And I will tell you, you guys met him. Did he not make you
Most
feel like he was
he was the nicest man. Like, I honestly, I expected it. Don't get me wrong. He seems like a very genuine person. But like, it really did feel like he would have sat there and talked to us for like 30 minutes if there wasn't a line out the wazoo for everybody else to do the same thing.
And I will tell you, people were saying it's like, I felt like I was back there talking to him for 10, 15 minutes. Because
he's trying to get to
that
everybody.
Personal touch. He doesn't just grab your item, slap a signature on it, and throw it to the side. I call that the Galaxy Quest.
But no, you're absolutely right. Like, he was very, very nice to everybody. I can't say a single person probably left that place angry. Everybody loved what they got.
And go up to KRRJ Collectables.
Buy a
They're on Instagram. They're on social media. Check them out.
Yeah, right.
But so tomorrow
from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Get in line.
Get in line. We'll have a taco vendor out there.
Sweet.
If you want to buy some tacos.
Oh, that's right. The taco vendor was there last time. It was
around
the corner.
I got to do a BC game, and then I'm going to rush over after.
I'm the same boat. I'm in a wedding, and then I will be hopefully trucking over there.
My brother will be there, who's an author, has a TV show called Beyond Geek. He's going to be there with his new book. Doing some stuff.
We need to get him in here.
I know, really.
He's not from here. He's
do
coming
video
down from
too.
Sacramento.
But that would be awesome.
But yeah, we try to make these things into little mini events.
Yeah, absolutely.
To where you can have some. We're going to be doing giveaways. Everybody that's in line will get a ticket for our giveaway.
Are you still doing that? What was it, monthly? Weren't you doing?
Yeah, we
that?
do one. It depends on how much value is in the item.
Fair.
So right now we've got like a signed Cell Max Funko Pop that we're doing as a giveaway.
Don't tell me that.
So for every $20 someone spends in the store, they get an entry into it, and you get that chance to win that.
Golly.
Well, we'll continue to pump up the Mick Foley signing event as well as KRRJ, but I know we're a sports show as well, and I know you're a Niner fan, right?
Clearly.
Just a little bit.
So,
yes.
So what are you thinking about this season?
I think the injuries are killing my team, but I just got to be honest. I mean, we're 5-3 with a ton of injuries, and I'm not just being facetious about a ton of injuries. We're talking.
You guys are cursed. I don't know what it is, but somebody
all
has cursed
pros.
you.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know if we're cursed. I actually think that there's a problem with. If you guys know about Levi Stadium at all, right next to Levi Stadium is a massive electrical station, and it's right next to their practice field. And I think they really should look into that a little bit more. That maybe they should put up a
barrier of some sort.
I'm also a massive ghost guy, like ghost.
Oh, nice.
And those kind of things. But
I
believe that electronic,
the pulses,
the EVP and stuff does kind of travel. And if you've ever followed people like Tesla and stuff, they could move electricity just through everything. So I think that may have a little bit to do with it.
That's interesting.
The 49ers, I know we'll see how we start to get some guys back. Tomorrow we play on the worst field in the entire NFL.
Yeah, that's
not tomorrow,
sure.
Sunday. That Giant Stadium turf is
that's
oh my
sure.
gosh, the Meadowlands sucks.
Although I don't know, Pittsburgh is starting to get a lot of hate this year too.
Well, their field's wet. It's like
there's still a little
like
bit of moisture
on
to
ice.
it.
Yeah. It's weird watching the guys slip and fall. Like I was watching part of the game last night where the Miami defender slipped and fell and they called for tripping. I'm like, are you kidding?
It was
me?
a horrible call too. That changed the momentum.
You
can't
sports
have
all day long.
Oh, absolutely.
He's the NFL season. It's been a good season so far.
It's been strange.
It's not. What's nice is to see teams like the Colts all of a sudden playing well, and just going to show that, just because a team gives up on somebody doesn't mean that they can't go to a team that fits them a little bit better.
That's what
we've been talking about with like JJ McCarthy. He's more of a game manager, and they really need a slinger that could sling those to Justin Jefferson.
I will say, I'm looking at JJ right here on this video screen.
Right above me.
Is that honestly, I never understood that pick for them. I thought that they should have offered the money to Darnold and kept Darnold.
Right.
That's one of the great things about the 49ers that they did is they had such a high pick in Trey Lance. And then they go, well, we got this guy, Brock Purdy, who's just better than him.
Yeah.
We've just got to cut our losses.
I still look back at that though and wonder what Mac Jones could have been if you guys had just drafted him
I
first.
don't. So that's a crazy thing to think about, right? Is what could have been. So let's go back even further. The San Francisco 49ers were choosing between picking Aaron Rodgers
and Alex
Smith.
True.
The thing is that would Aaron Rodgers have become Alex Smith if he had been picked by the 49ers? Because there was no Hall of Famer
been awful
that he got to sit behind for a few years.
True.
Because if you watch him play, he plays a lot like Brett Favre, just a little bit more under control. Alex Smith went through like 5 different offensive coordinators the first 5 years.
Yep.
In reality, he only had like maybe 4 good years of his entire career before he got hurt. And it was after he developed. Aaron Rodgers got to sit behind a Hall of Famer. Right. Think about guys like Steve Young. I know I'm bringing up 49ers, but Steve Young was a great quarterback to watch in the LA Express, the Tampa Bay Bucks. And then he came and sat behind the greatest of all time in Joe Montana. And would he have been as good as if he just got in there and wasn't behind Joe Montana and got to fight for that position? And I look at that a lot as a 49ers fan. Guys like Colin Kaepernick, who was very good when Alex Smith was behind him, because remember, he took over when Alex Smith got hurt,
right? And
then didn't relinquish the position. That's not going to happen with Mac Jones over Brock Purdy, because Brock Purdy is
way too much money put.
No, not just too much money, but his acumen as a
I like
quarterback
Purdy.
is insane.
True.
If he was 2 inches taller, he would have been a number 1 pick. Let's just put it that way.
No, that's absolutely fair.
And as my belief in the NFL is that if you can come in behind somebody and learn from somebody, especially as a quarterback, how great is that? Lamar Jackson in Baltimore.
Jordan Love.
He couldn't just come in.
Patrick Mahomes.
And remember, a few of those years, he kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he was a running quarterback.
Same with
Patrick
Josh
Mahomes
Allen.
had a year behind him, but then, you know, let's be honest, Patrick Mahomes is a freak.
Yes.
So nobody
Yes.
saw that one coming.
Yeah.
You know, maybe his mom and dad, you know, but it wasn't.
And he saw it, apparently. They drafted him.
But they saw that something that they got that he needed for his system. Now the problem is everybody's trying to be Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
The truth is be your own self and just be a stud.
There's only 2 people that could be Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen.
Yeah.
But
and even then, Josh Allen is Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Josh has his own game.
He's got his own way of playing that's completely insane. And you know, you've got it's fun to watch. Like I said, this year is fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
And the NFL is sport. Now you don't want to get me started on referees because man, they suck. But
we're gonna get robotic referees here pretty soon.
I don't understand why we don't.
Exactly
I mean,
what I've been saying.
Let's be completely honest. I would say that the last couple of years, 50% of the calls have been wrong.
Yep.
And we're not just talking blatantly wrong. We're talking blatantly wrong.
Well, and now with all the gambling allegations coming out around professional sports, people are starting to believe that a lot of these wrong calls were called that way on purpose, which means
listen, I am a Sacramento Kings fan.
Oh,
so you're going to get me going back to the
we do not nearly have the time for that.
So yes, gambling allegations are a big thing. I mean, going back to my 49ers, the first Super Bowl against the Chiefs, I was sitting there with my wife and I'm like, this is going to suck because I have belief in my team, but every commercial, you know, 75% of everything is talking about the Chiefs. I go, we're going to see some weird calls in this game because the money's going towards San Francisco.
And that was the comeback game, right? With Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, that's the one where you saw the offensive PI on George Kittle that would have given us an easy field goal at the end of the first half.
Right.
And then the amount of holds that weren't called against arguably one of the best deal guys.
We won't get into that either.
But yeah, it's one thing that when you see somebody call you know, a ticky-tack hold, and then the next time the guy's bear hugged and tackling the guy, and you're like, how's that a call? My wife goes all the time. So how do I know what offense or defensive pass interference is when one time the guy runs through the guy, tackles him, and there's no call, but then the next time he breathes left on the guy, and
he gets a flag called on him.
And
no, it's true. Wild inconsistencies throughout the entire
gambling accusations, they're going to be there because there's just too many weird calls. And I would have thought after they went and arrested these guys in the NBA that this last weekend NFL would have been like, you guys better make sure all the calls are right because this is going to look really bad.
I'm sure there's been plenty of notes going to the Zebras to make sure that they're on their game.
They sent out a whole league out
100%.
The second they let the Raiders move to Las Vegas, you knew something was going to happen.
No, that's fair.
Because
I'd honestly go back further than that and say the minute you let DraftKings and Underdog and all these guys in.
Well, you know, not to speak ill will of
no, not at all.
ESPN or anything, but if you watch any ESPN shows,
ESPN bet comes up all
75% of the commercials. Like I love Good Morning Football, and it's like, why are you guys on a talk show talking about bets?
Right.
When that's a big thing that we have. It's
all about the money.
It's about the money, and it's hard to beat those allegations.
It is. Speaking about the money, though, one more time, let them know about the Mick Foley signing, where they got to go, and what time to be there.
So that's going to be at KRRJ Collectables from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're at 1410 Weibel Way, Suite 102 here. That's right by Furniture City, across the street from the mall.
The old Rusty's and whatnot.
Yeah, right next to where the old Rusty's used to be. It'll be a lot of fun. You can't miss it. I'm hoping there's going to be a big line there.
Oh, they'll be there.
$60 for photos, $60 for signatures, 80 for both, right?
Correct. And if you've got more than 10 items, he usually gives you a discount.
And
too.
like I said, buy a Funko or two on the way out as well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Sir?
you're more than welcome anytime. We
Absolutely.
look forward
Appreciate
to
it.
talking to you
Anytime
more.
you guys want me back, I'll come in here and talk football, basketball.
Sounds good to
Anytime.
me.
long.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, my friend. We really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Let's take a break real quick. This is the Early Bird Special right here on ESPN Bakersfield.
Hey, you fix your camera.
I'm glad you're playing this because when you brought up Undertaker and how you have everything or dang near everything of Taker's, I immediately said, "We got to get you a picture with him." That's the only thing
One
we have
day.
that we have not been.
One day.
We will get
I was hoping to meet Paul Bear before he went to, but he was one of my favorites. Too. But we got our boy Kyle Pittser from Dionysus Brewing.
Sir, good to see you.
So we've got
You
Kyle
got me now?
Pittser from Dionysus Brewing while they're working on the headphone jack over here. I will say, every week Kyle is knocking out these new flavors, and every week I'm like, oh, dude, this is the best one. Got to be the top one. It's not going to top this one. And then he hit me with caramel apple
Yes, which
beer
I'm
slushy.
very excited to try. But
Am I crazy? Did you have a cinnamon toast crunch one at one point here recently?
Did I s-
I teased it.
Okay, so that's what
I
it was. I saw the
teased it.
It was
teaser
on the poll.
because I looked at him and I said, "No." Last time I saw it, swear to God, it was cinnamon toast
right,
crunch,
so-
and I was really excited for that.
ever since I did the Fruity Pebble one, everyone's like, you gotta do cinnamon toast
Oh,
crunch.
heck yeah.
And I do a lot of creation just in my head, like how possible is this?
True.
I don't know how possible I can replicate the cinnamon toast crunch flavor.
That would be very
But
difficult.
It's still a work in progress. So
Okay.
I tease it here
Okay.
and there just to
I was gonna
get
say,
people
if
As
anyone
excited.
long
can
as it's
figure it out.
on the ledger,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
I
fine.
was gonna say, if
Stay away
anyone-
from Cocoa Pebbles, though.
if
I don't
anyone-
know.
What?
I don't
could
know if
figure it
chocolate
out.
and beer will work out.
dude.
very
No,
well.
it might not.
I don't
mean,
think it works out.
I
like
thought the
that.
same thing when they started introducing sour beers. I was like, oh, that's
No.
gonna be
Sours, I am all for.
see,
Anything.
Hey,
people-
so
let's go.
speaking of the sour beer, that is the perfect combo with the candy
Apple?
caramel.
Is it
Oh,
really?
dude? It's the best one I've
Getting me
made.
some
It's
ideas
so
now.
Friday
it's so
night
good.
flights.
Yep,
I'm telling you, man.
Are you gonna be open tonight?
Yeah, I guess it's Friday Night Frights because it's Halloween.
Oh, I was gonna ask because I know you have some kids. I wasn't sure if you're gonna just close it down. It's Halloween. I got to take.
Yeah, the kids are
trick-
working. I'm actually gonna go
Right.
trick or
There
treat.
you
so-
go. That's the answer.
But no, so I mean, you're gonna have
Yeah,
the
we'll be
World
open.
Series?
Yeah, we'll be open. We're gonna do something a little different today. We're gonna have our $12 flight special like we normally do, and then I'm gonna do $18 4-packs of anything. So
Oh wow.
Oh,
if
nice.
you want a 4-pack of slushies, 4-pack of beer, you can mix and match between the two. $18 at the door because usually it's like 25. So
Did I read something that you can order?
yeah, online. Yeah, we
You can
updated our-
order drinks online.
Yeah, and then we got to pick them up, obviously.
course.
But yeah, we try to sweeten up the deal. If you order online, it's a better deal.
But then you don't get to see them.
just for a quick
Well,
second.
no, you get to see him still. Someone's got to hand you your beer.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, we got a big game 6 of the World Series tonight.
oh yes.
Friday night flights, $12, $18. You got food out there tonight?
We got Hopedin's. He does Jamaican food.
Ooh,
Ah,
fantastic.
Jamaican shake.
yes.
Okay.
I know. I'm really hoping the Dodgers win tonight. I mean, I'm not a
For a
big
game
Dodger
7.
fan. Sorry, but
Game 7 is.
I just
big,
need a game.
though.
I need a game 7.
Yeah.
You
Now,
know,
will
Well,
that
how are you
interact?
gonna? Yeah, how are you gonna do that with Saturday night's main event at the same time?
oh, we got a big screen.
We got 2.
Projector,
Oh, of
We
course.
got a TV.
It's 2 televisions.
I
And
think
a
Saturday
projector.
night main event starts at 4 p.m. and I think World Series starts at 5.
Right.
With all the commercials, we might get one match in before the World
Yeah,
Series
no
starts.
kidding. Good lord. I
Well,
mean,
before we get into wrestling, it is basketball season.
Oh,
Yes.
And I'm going to say it while I can, but the Bulls are undefeated.
Hey, the Bulls are looking good.
just stay away from Miami in the playoffs.
That's
That's
what
all
I've been
I
saying.
ask of
I've been
you.
saying that for years.
Just
Yeah, I know,
anybody
right?
else but Miami.
Hey,
in the
Miami's
playoffs.
offense is really good this year too, and we didn't even have Tyler Hero. So I mean, just
We're
wait.
looking
until,
good. I mean,
Yeah.
again, it's the beginning of the season. I like
Yes,
I told him
exactly.
yesterday, I don't take a lot of stake in the games this early, kind of like baseball fans, but everybody's looking pretty good right now. I mean, the East is wide open.
Oh, dude, the East is. I mean, especially with the Celtics kind of looking iffy. You don't
Mhm.
know. I mean,
Thank
look
God.
at
Even though
the
they
Sixers
dropped
with
my
their
team by
rookie-
20 the other day.
Yeah, I know, right?
I can't.
Yeah, the East is open. I mean, look at the West though. The West is stacked. You get the Spurs, Wemby, and
5 in a
company,
row. First time in the franchise's
which
history.
is beyond me with their dynasties they've had. So good on them. They
Yeah.
deserve it.
Wemby looks good. I just hope he could stay healthy
Yeah.
That's the
for a
big
full
thing.
season.
But again, we could be watching essentially the Shohei Ohtani of basketball right now with Wemby because this dude's doing stuff that nobody has ever done at
Yeah.
his size.
He's gonna average like 4 to 5 blocks a game which is-
Easily.
Dude, I was just talking to
Unreal.
a friend while we were watching it. He blocked the shot 3 times.
Yep.
And then got the ball and almost made a 3 by half court. I'm like, dude, this kid is,
He's athletic.
Incredible.
and he keeps growing.
Yeah,
Yep.
they say he's 7'4", but I hear rumor he's actually like 7'7" because Boban has talked about it, and Boban I believe is 7'4" ish, 7'3", and he says he looks up at him.
Wow.
So there's
I believe
no way that he's only 7'4", and I say only 7'4" very
I
lightly.
mean, to your point, if he could stay healthy, the Spurs are a scary team.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like scary. How do you
100%.
defend that guy? So we'll see. Like you said,
Well,
it's early.
How do you even score on that guy? Because, like you
Just-
said, he's going to swat 4 to 5 balls a game. I mean, you just have to hope and pray he hits the bench at some point.
yeah.
If
Well,
this
luckily
man-
in the NBA, they shoot 53s a game.
no kidding.
So
Well,
That's
he
true.
shoots 25 of them. though,
Exactly.
and he
Yeah.
makes 15.
Yeah.
But the issue that I'm looking at here is how do you even combat this going forward as a team that has to play against him? Because he's only going to get better. He's only going to find more ways to improve himself. I mean, you saw in this last offseason, he went and trained with Monks and Kevin Garnett. Like, this kid clearly takes it seriously.
They're gonna have to run like a 2-5 position, 2 centers,
something.
Just lock them up.
Like,
breaking news.
Oh Lord,
my Dolphins have cut. The GM Chris Greer has been fired.
Ooh, and I heard they're keeping the head
we have
coach.
celebration cued by Cool and the Gang. Where's the celebration music?
Finally.
Oh,
okay,
good
back
Lord.
to the conversation.
No,
I've been waiting for that.
That's huge, though. That is massive for the Dolphins.
Oh,
The first step in all of this stuff finally getting cleaned up down there.
All right, looks like they're going to keep McDaniel, or kind of forced to keep Tua. But I think, like you said in the beginning of the show,
Harry's onto something, dude.
There's
I
several
think
quarterbacks.
You keep him as a bridge. There are several quarterbacks coming up in this next draft class. You'll find the heir, and right after Tua's contract is up, you toss him off to the wayside. You let the kid come in and run it. Just like our guy Jim in here said, maybe give him a year just to figure out the NFL game, and then hopefully you have the next Patrick Mahomes.
And knowing Tua
or Bo Nix,
anyone really. I mean, I've watched 40 quarterbacks, and 20 of them were drafted.
Hey, at least you're not Cleveland.
We're getting close. Billy told me the same thing last night. He said, "At least you're not the Jets," and I'm like, "We're one game above being the Jets." So
honestly, that's the weird part about
don't
it.
Throw
right?
that in. But again, going to wrestling, we got not only Friday Night SmackDown tonight. But what's your thoughts going into Saturday night's main event? Are we going to get hopefully a better one?
I think this is actually a banger card.
I think this is the best card on a Saturday night's main event we've gotten so far.
And I think there's going to be upsets like crazy. I think Drew McIntyre wins.
I think so.
I think Jade Cargill wins.
Yep.
I just think now the Jay and CM Punk one, I just hope they don't give it to Jay. I'm not a big CM Punk fan.
I have a feeling Jimmy's going to come out and ruin that for him. I have a feeling they're going to reset up this feud between the Usos because we did not get the match everybody wanted at Mania.
You mean
we
the
really
super kick
didn't.
match?
Yes, the super kickoff. I can't, dude. Like, that could have been such a better match, and it was really just a Snoresville. And I think that this is the perfect opportunity to really reignite that.
Yeah.
You think Dom drops his belt?
I think Dom drops his belt. I think
so we're gonna get everyone. Everyone's dropping belts.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know if Dom does it. I think Dom keeps it.
Okay, you know what? I did read something about him keeping it so he can lose it to John Cena at Survivor Series.
That's the rumor. Yeah, because John's
been pushing that. I'm like, dude, I don't want to see that match.
But we say that now.
I get it, but I mean,
think of it this way. Think of it this way. He's going against Penta and Rusev. Dom wins that match. First Monday Night Raw after Saturday night's main event. Who's the first guy he calls out? John Cena.
And isn't he scheduled to be on that Raw?
I think he is. Or Cena comes out and talks, and then here comes double belt Dom, who's just going to be throwing it back in his face and say, you know what? I'm better than my dad, and I'm better than you because I have this, and you've never had it before. And that's when we get the match going.
You think we get Liv back?
Very soon.
I keep rumors that she's coming. She's coming.
Well, I've seen more things like videos and tweets from her and stuff the last couple weeks than I have in the last couple months before that, which shows me she's trying to get her name back out there and trying to like recycle.
I mean, if you think about it, the Royal Rumble is not that far away.
No, it's not.
What, 2 months?
She could be one of the surprise re-entries. I could definitely see that.
Have her win it and feud with whoever has the belt at the time.
Probably Stephanie, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point you have to let those two cross paths, and we have to figure out this entire thing with Raquel and Roxanne and how they've all kind of just left.
I read that Raquel has been training with Kevin Nash.
That is what I've heard.
And they're trying to use her more as the enforcer type.
That's what she should be.
Exactly. And
she's got the build for it. And
you've seen it. She's cleaned it up.
The women's division needs that.
Yeah.
They need a big
She was like that in NXT. She was a powerhouse.
The matches between her and Rhea in NXT were very much big on big, like who's going to outpower the other. And then when she came to the main roster, she's really just been a tag team person, which bugs me because there was a point where we had her and Rhea feuding in one of the best feuds of the year.
Yeah.
Then she had to take time away because of her illness, and we haven't gotten that back either.
Yeah.
They just kind of said, nope, we're going to Liv now. Liv is the real rival to Rhea. And it's like, no, Raquel. Raquel was the one you wanted to see.
And I mean, I'm looking at the fight card. We talked about the Cody and Drew, which hopefully this will be the end of this. For
everything
a while.
is just pointing to that.
Yeah.
Everything. And I think you're right on Tiffy and Jade too, because Tiffy has just run through everybody that they could possibly.
And what I've heard is Tiffy needs a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's had a long year. And on top of that, the CM Punk Jay, and I'm hoping that they start feuding this Jay and Jimmy, because I think that is really the real match.
I can't remember who came out and said it. It was a former WWE wrestler who I think is a producer now, but they came out and said they believe CM Punk should focus on getting guys over more, especially the young guys, than focus on going after titles in this part of his career. Do you guys kind of agree with that?
I think he deserves one more run. Give him this last little run, whether it be 3 months, 6 months. I mean, they gave it to Cena. I mean, that wasn't that great of a run, but he still got it. But
we're not seeing a retirement from Punk anytime soon.
No, but he has said,
I wish.
Hey,
it's coming. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
within 5 years, he's not going to be in the ring.
5 more
I'd rather
years.
him have it now.
Well, I said within.
In
I don't
3
know.
or 4 years when he's a lot older and gassed out. Because let's be fair, he gets gassed out pretty easily in the ring still. So I mean, let's let him win. Let's let him have some good matches. Maybe he loses at WrestleMania.
Maybe. Punk to me for some reason feels like a Ric Flair. I don't think this guy's ever going to stop wrestling. I think that we're going to see him wrestling well into his 60s and 70s when everybody's looking at him saying, dude, we love you, but can you please stop?
Go.
Like we're worried about your health at this point. Like
we've had people asking about like AJ, and what I've read in her Instagram and her tweets is that they're trying to line her up with getting the IC title.
Right.
I was like, okay.
Well, they've been trying to line that up with her and Becky since she came back. But then again, much like Brock, she came back for that one moment. Haven't seen her in months.
And the question that we always have to ask, I think we're at 3 or 4 left with Cena. That's why I think that's why he's not on this card.
I think it's 2 now.
Well, no,
2 now.
No, it's
2 matches.
2 matches.
Yeah,
2
matches.
4 appearances.
Yeah.
4 appearances, but 2 matches.
Probably a Monday Night Raw and a SmackDown.
Because all we're going to get him in is his final PLE, which will be Survivor Series in San Diego, which I am desperately thinking about going down there and actually being at. And then the other one would be the final Saturday night's main event for him.
So say he fights Dom at Survivor Series. What do you think? I know it's been bounced around for the whole year pretty much, but who do you think the final match is? And do you think it is the final match?
I feel like we bounce this
every
time. Is it still?
And
Gunther?
It changes because now I'm hearing Jericho, and now I'm hearing.
Oh yeah, it could be
I heard
Jericho.
Randy might be taking a big flip here and joining up with some Scottish lover of his. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
No, the Drew McIntyre thing. You haven't heard that? That this entire thing is supposed to be like Randy was masterminding the whole thing, that Drew actually has just been taking orders from him.
Oh, I have heard that Orton and him are going to team up.
No, I was joking about the lover thing. Sorry. I was just cracking a joke.
I was like, what? I did read that Orton was going to somehow interfere with this match and lose it for Cody.
Yes.
And then him and Drew will team up. And I'm like, that would be insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be
huge guys.
It has been a while though since we've seen a heel Randy Orton.
But I also have seen Jericho been posting lately a lot of WWE stuff.
I hope he's
this morning he was posting pictures with him and Kevin Owens, like he's trying to get his name back in it.
Speaking of which, I'm making that a drop.
I thought made the list.
You just made the list. I'm making that a dang drop.
You have to.
It's going to be a drop next week. And every time someone makes us mad, we now have a list. I'm gonna have a list right there.
But if you're a writer, I mean, who are you writing in?
I mean, let's be fair. Jericho, you've seen him in AEW the last couple of years. He's not that great in the ring anymore.
No, he's more of one of those guys that, like they said about Punk, should probably focus on putting over younger guys. Not in a bad way, but more of just like, dude, your time has come. Your time is come and gone, but you still have a lot of star power, and you can help a lot of these young guys gain their own,
especially in the mid card. Help the mid card guys out.
Yes,
I don't know if it's Jericho. I mean, I'd be down to see it.
Last week it was Edge.
Hey, I would still love to see that.
That's still on the board. Let's not get crazy.
And that would be monumental just for the wrestling industry to have AEW and WWE actually collab one time.
I don't think it'll ever happen.
It'll open up a whole machine, though.
I would love to see it, but the closest thing you're going to see to that is the TNA NXT working together thing that we've seen the last year.
And I did read, with a lot of the wrestling podcasts, a lot of them are saying it's really up to Cena. They're leaving it up to Cena to pick his final match, which is awesome. But I mean, I'm just thinking, okay, well, I don't want to see Gunther.
Me neither.
I don't want to see, Edge or Jericho.
I'm also glad they got a lot of these out of the way. Like
Early.
the Logan Paul, the AJ Styles. Like, I'm glad we got all those out of the way. Personally, I think we did one too many with Cody.
Yeah.
I think we could have just gotten away with one and letting it walk away.
I'm just glad because I thought for sure it was going to be Cody at the end.
Yeah.
When you look at the beginning of the year, I was like,
I think that was the original plan, and then they shifted it just at some point. They
So
decided,
What if it's The Rock?
Yeah, they've mentioned that several times.
No, they have mentioned that because he came out and said on the Kelsey's podcast that he wants it to be him, but it's up to John.
How is it not Brock?
That's what I said. You cannot have Brock come in, wreck your stuff, and then walk away and not get anything out of that.
And just be okay with it.
Yeah, we not get anything. Like, we're just gonna be okay with the Beast walking in, F5ing John Cena, and then just tipping his cap, saying, "There's your match, I'm out," and walking away. Like, no, that's why in my head it has to be Brock Lesnar. It has to be Brock Lesnar.
But Kyle's the writer. Who are you picking?
Oh man, I'm telling you, that is one of the hardest. I've been going through all the wrestlers, and Brock is probably the best choice because, hey, get that last win, your final win against one of your biggest rivals.
Ride out on your white horse and you're happy.
And be good with it because Brock's still going to wrestle. He's going to be fine.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
But this also means that if he does have the IC belt, that Brock would be beating him for the IC belt.
See, and that's what makes me think Gunther could be the
They're not going to run back
and let Gunther run the IC title.
Personally, I think Dom beats John and takes away that dream from him. Imagine that. If Dom beats John and then it beat him flat out too. Don't even make it a cheat way.
Yeah, no
just
dirty Dom.
No dirty Dom. Just Dom beats him flat out with a 619, and then that's the John Cena Rey Mysterio match. That
as long as it's not the El Americano Grande or whatever, the 3 or 4 of them all pop up.
They really need to end this thing. I am so over.
They're gonna wait till Chad Gable comes back, and then he's gonna feel him.
No, you're absolutely right, and they've already set it up for that because you can get the Creed brothers to take on the other two.
Yeah,
well, Dionysus tonight, World Series.
Yes.
What time are you guys opening tonight?
We're opening at 4, and we're gonna close whenever we want.
Nice.
Go Blue Jays.
Straight from the owner.
Absolutely.
No, go for the Dodgers. We want a game 7.
Come on.
I need something to do after the game tomorrow.
Go Blue Jays.
So, until then, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Halloween. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. We'll be back live Monday from 7 to 9 right here on the Early Bird Special.